Welcome to the Authentic Leadership Roadshow. My name is Helena Demuynck. I am a transformation guide for smart, conscious women leaders. And this is the Authentic Leadership Roadshow. My purpose with this series of videos and interviews is to give you a platform where you can find a role model. Many people or many women tell me that they are not capable of finding role models that they can resonate with. And I said, how is that possible? There are so many amazing women. I know so many amazing women. And so I took the action and I am creating this platform for you so you can listen to interesting stories, to remarkable women that have the vulnerability and the authenticity and the transparency to share with you their successes and also their failures and their learnings. And I am thrilled to be here today with Bea Payla. Bea is Hungarian. She is a singer-songwriter. She has an amazing voice. You will hear it. And she is also a voice coach. Not a normal voice coach, she is actually helping women to unleash their voice and their power and their strength. She is the mother of two. She is amazing. She is passionate. She is generous. And I am so happy to have you here, Bea. Welcome on the Authentic Leadership Roadshow. You rock.
Yeah, thank you so much for this introduction. It's a morning lesson from receiving. So all these positive things from me. Okay, that's me. Thank you. Okay, I take it in. And this is my first. Yeah, this is my first lesson to everyone who is listening to us. Like, take all the good stuff in and contain it. When someone says good things about you, like you just did about me. So thank you so much for the invitation and for the introduction.
You are so welcome. So Bea, what is your story? I know that if you tell your story, you could take 3 or 4 hours, but just the shortcut. What is your story? Because you have a remarkable trajectory, don't you?
So I have a very short format of it. Like, I am half gypsy from a Hungarian tiny village, and I sung myself into Carnegie Hall. So in one sentence, this is the story. And so I can tell a little bit more about that. So yes, as you said, I'm Hungarian. My mother is gypsy. And the reason I mention it, it's because it's a heritage of marginalization. So she was really on the edges, and all she wanted is going towards the center of the society, or towards more acceptance, more acknowledgement in life. So I think somehow she passes through this to me. This sentence was like every day, like, let's advance from 1 to 2, my son. She said, she called me my son. It was interesting. It's cultural, but let's advance from 1 to 2, like 1 to 2, from point 1 to point 2. And this advancing and doing the work and making consistent action is really in my blood. So it's really important for me that coming from the edge to the center, it's a path that I inherited. And furthermore, she sent me to the village group to sing and dance. So this was my basic mother tongue, song and dance, and that's how I grew up. And this is very important when I help other women to grow, because I have this implement in my body that if we sing and move, it helps us to connect and grow through it. And so this is it's a very deep foundation in me. And later on, I went on to make my singer and songwriter career, which is now 40 years on. I couldn't believe, like, I've been doing this for 40 years. Yes, I'm 47, but I really started early. And of course, the last 2 decades was when I really made my oeuvre, which is like 550 songs and thousands and thousands of concerts with highlights like Carnegie Hall and Concertgebouw and Sapporo, Kitara Hall, and so on and so on. And lately, and this is also an important milestone in my story, I started to teach online. I started to teach early on, but I felt somehow that even though my songs is about change, deep transformation, and my listeners react and resonate with it, yet I found that songs are beautiful, but I have more to teach, more to tell, more to give. And when I got my 2 daughters, I really felt this this calling for service. So I started to teach also because my people like bombarding with me, bombarding me with emails like, hey, can I learn from you? Can I learn from you? Can I learn from you? And I said, no, I have a lot of concerts. But then finally I got to this point, okay, I can make courses. I know things that maybe other women don't. And so this is my honor to be in a position that I can give this through. So I build up my coaching and teaching path in English and in Hungarian. And this is a true happiness and transformation for me to see other women transform just by using their voice and just by singing easy, beautiful songs and doing other exercise, of course, visual and energy exercise. But so this is in short me being a singer writer and a coach and a teacher, and this is truly a happy place. I have to be careful to overwork myself yet.
Absolutely. And I can confirm that Bea is an amazing teacher. I took her program this year. It is called Unleashing Your Authentic Feminine Voice. She has a new edition in February of 2024, but this is, one of the next editions. And I can absolutely recommend it. It is amazing. It is amazing what your voice can do. It is amazing to step into your authenticity and into your vulnerability and just sing together with other women and use your voice, especially if you are a leader and if you are presenting in public, or if you are the leader of meetings, the president of meetings, or wherever you need to have impact. This is an amazing program. So I will put all the information about how to connect with Bea and how to find out more about the program in the comments below the video. But Bea, listen, this is an amazing story. And you make it sound like it was so easy. And I don't believe that. I don't believe this was an easy story. So tell me, what was like your top 3 in the hurdles you had to take between your 7-year-old child being in the center, playing and dancing and singing, and become a world-renowned singer, songwriter, singing about transformation, about with deep content in your text and in your songs, not like most of the songs that are extremely superficial, and now also setting these first successful steps in teaching. What were your hurdles? Be honest.
Yeah, I am. And thank you so much for asking this, because of course in the short format, all these highlights are just so shining that we forgot the other side. But yet I am very honest about it. And this is one of the, maybe this is one of the reason I'm so well known in Hungary, because I started to dare talking about that, like, the women's body's transformation, the hard side of giving birth or divorce with a young one or 2 young children, or sexuality. So all these hard, like more taboo topics are like in my songs, as you are saying. But I can tell you more about my turning point and vulnerability and hard times. So first, and I think it can be relevant for many women leaders, that I have a mother wound. Like, I have a very difficult relationship with my mom, and still is. And of course there is peace in it and there's love in it. But coming from the edge and going towards the center, it means that you have a long path to go. And in this path, my mother was not she loves me, but it wasn't a supporter role that she could take, because she was afraid that I can go wrong. So the first thing she says that, yeah, with singing, you won't be anyone. Okay, that you like singing, but what will be your normal job, she said. And so if I go deep, I can hear and feel the love in it, but it was very painful. And still is, because this is a very different path I took, uh, comparing to her. And so this is a wound, and the reason I talk about it is because I think many of us have it. All the big women I work with, all the wonderful women leaders I am working with, I can see that there is somehow this wounded little girl in them who is not validated, who is not supported, who is not loved, who is not okayed in everything she feels or she says or she thinks. And I think this is a big part in my courses. You took part of it, that everything what you are doing through and saying through the voice, it's got a deep validation. You can say it in a deep loving, container. You can just say it out loud, and then you can change, because for change you need to hug what is now, so that change can occur from this hugging, loving place. So for me this was, maybe my number one vulnerable hard place is my mother wound and the difficult relationship with my mom.
Yeah, that so resonates with me, Bea. I have also a lot of women clients that have a similar situation, not only or not exactly with their mother, but that are so much pushed in a direction on a path that is not theirs. And mostly it is because of love, it is because of concern, but there's also a lot of judgment. And I see a lot of women that have chosen, or actually, you can't call it chosen, but have taken a path that is not theirs.
Yeah.
And it gives them so much frustration. Sometimes they don't even know where the stress and the anxiety and the frustration is coming from until we go deeper, and until we go to revealing their dreams, their yearnings, what they really want in life. And then they see the gap, and they understand that they are not doing what they want in life. They're doing what other people want in life. And I think it's so powerful that you did that you took your own path. And absolutely, one of the most important things to work with that is self-validation. It is your self-talk, and you give it in the physical and the emotional, but it is also in the rational. It is validation in all the centers that you are and that you have. And that is very strong. Yeah. Thank you for that one. I am sure that this will resonate to a lot of women. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Can I add something to this? I love all the body expression that you have while talking about this. And you also did this, which is also a gesture we do on a regular basis in my programs. In the end, we sing to ourselves a self-lullaby with our own names. And this is the point where all the women just really got the place where, of course, after 90 minutes of work, so it's not like from 1 minute to the other, but this is an anchoring element in my programs. Whenever I teach, wherever I teach, I start my courses the same way with the 5 body exercise, and I finish my class with the same exercise, which is this self-lullaby, where we got back to this tender place to feel back the love tank. And this is so efficient. And we talk about leadership, but I think you and I work with women who cares, who love, who lead with true authenticity and power and care with the others. And power doesn't mean that I control others, but I give others things to grow. And so I think this authenticity is so important, and it's really also the zeitgeist, the word of times, the what we are talking of. And I also want to mention my friend Gábor Máté, Dr. Gábor Máté, who's a dear friend of mine, and in the last decades he was encouraging me to go out to the world and teach what I know, because he felt somehow I wasn't sure. I was worried about my English, and this is another point I could name as a hurdle or a hard thing, is that I was worried not to be good enough, because I have a great Hungarian. I bet I am a great I am a great connoisseur of my own language as a songwriter and a writer, but not the same level in English. So I was, somehow worried about how can I teach other women to sing in English. And then they all said, what are you talking about? We don't understand. Like, you have a good enough English. And when you sing in English, it's also just, wing opening. So okay, then finally I started to hear. But this is also, so Gabor was also kind of pushing me, like, go and test and teach and ask people what they say. And this is
beautiful, and be brilliant and imperfect at the same time,
exactly. And I can tell you, when my first program, I did my first beta program of the Unleashing Your Authentic Feminine Voice. I had it was 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I was in front of my screen and I was putting together the material. I'm very graphomaniac. And so I was writing exercise, and then I thought, no, it's not how we say it in English, la la da da. And in a moment I felt like the words come out of the screen and bite my neck as a lion. And, oh my God. Oh. So I felt and lay down and slept 1 hour. And then I said, well, wait a minute. I'm not on a savannah. It's not a lion. It won't bite me. It won't bite me. So what's the worst thing that can happen? My people just say, hey, can you repeat it? And that's all. So it was the as our beautiful mentor Marissa Murgatroyd says, that action before perfection. So I started to take this unperfect path. And this is also, I think, very relevant for many women leaders, that we somehow are thought to be perfect and nice and, having the perfect hair and makeup, and then having the perfect thoughts and perfect emotions and alignment and everything. And the reason is that the reality is that we are just not always perfect. And
we cannot be perfect. We don't have to be. We don't have to be. You know what was a very important lesson for me, because I am a reformed perfectionist. And I recognize what you say, not even only in English, which is not my native language either. It is, if you are focusing on perfectionism, and this is something that might sound very hard for people who are, you are focusing on yourself. You make it about you. And if you can make it about the others, if you can make it about the connection with the others, you will create an energy, and they don't care if you mispronounce a word, because that is not about it. It is not about that. It is about the connection. It is about what you share. It is about what you experience with each other. And that's the only thing. And these mindsets, I call them the inner glass ceilings. We all have them. When I work with my clients, I have this woman-centered coaching methodology and approach. And we have defined 21 limiting beliefs. Beautiful. There might be more, but these are the most important ones. Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. I cannot do that. Things like that. And they're in our head. So how much I approve that we have to do a lot on the level of government, on the level of corporate, in terms to have this equality and inclusion and all these things. We also have responsibility as women to step forward, to show up, and to, I love this quote, to be brilliant and imperfect at the same time. It doesn't matter. It is about the impact you have. It is about how you service people. It is about your intentions to bring. That's, Yes, I know we are on the same line there. We are on the same line, and the more women we can convince of exactly finding their voice and be authentic and be courageous and support each other. That is so important. We need this connection and this spirit and energy of support and leveraging each other. And the more we do that, because what you say is so resonating for everybody. Yeah.
And I think you can even hear our listeners that how we energize each other, because you start to talk and I'm smiling. I want to say, go on. Yeah. I love it. And
that's why we are here for.
Yeah. And I think this is a very beautiful meta or demo. How can we support each other? And uplift each other even more. Because truly, Helena, when I got to this interview, I was like, ugh. And as I see you, as I listen to you saying all these beautiful words about imperfection and sisterhood and supporting each other, this is happening here. Like my smile went up here, and yeah, I started even like, sing, my sister, sing, let your voice be heard. Yeah. What won't kill you will make you
Will make you
strong.
strong.
Yes.
Sing, my sister, sing. Yeah, you cannot avoid singing with Bea.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
can.
yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
you can. And so when you talked about, when you were talking about supporting each other and being in the place of vulnerability and imperfection, yeah, this is it. Like that's how, and true connection, that's how we uplift each other. And you know, there's a very concrete example about that. Like I tend to teach in my European evenings, so after like 12 hours of work and children and going to school and a household and everything, so let's say at 9 o'clock in my evening, I got to the screen, of course, imperfect, but what I do is that I connect to the people. And yes, as you are saying, it's about them and it's about the connection. It's about the place we are creating here and now. And it's about the container, as I call it, the tribal fireplace. We are sitting around and, you know, doing stuff together and growing it. So it's also the reason I start the same way my classes with this body sequence is that it also energizes me. Breathing exercise, opening the chest. So it's also like a tool for myself as a teacher to really be in the place of open heart, service, giving. And then from that point, and this takes 5 minutes, from that point, all the other exercise and layers can unfold in a beautiful way.
I remember from your programs, because you always ask, what's your energy level right now? And then you see, because of course it's in the evening, you know, 5, 6, 7, and then you do these exercises and everybody says 9, 10, or sometimes 12 on a scale of 10. So that is absolutely true. And I want to refer to that. These are exercises that take, like we say, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, a lot of people in general, in the morning, they get up, like, you know, already in stress, thinking, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I forgot that yesterday. And this is how they get up.
Yeah.
And then I said, but how can you build the energy for your day? So these kinds of exercises that you do, and the breathing exercise, or just, you know, setting an intention. I have my cards with spiritual words that I draw every morning. I draw 5 cards that guide me through the day, and then I have one of my crystals that I choose depending on my mood and my intentions, that I ask to put their energy on these cards. And every hour or 2 hours, I go back to my cards just to remind me of my, you know, of how they can support me through my day. And those are things, little rituals, little exercises that bring you energy and focus in your day, instead of, you know, being really so stressed and taken by all the external impulses. And especially if you are a mother, especially if you are a leader, this is impacting the people around you. Yeah. So if you are aware of how you show up, and you are very conscious about what you can do in order to show up in the way that people need you to be, then you can you know, achieve so much more.
Yeah. It's beautiful. And I know about your rituals, and I had the chance to even see Helena's beautiful place in Spain, which is also a retreat place. It's beautiful. Like already the place invite you to be in this authentic self and doing the rituals so that you can go to another world, to a bigger world, because I'm a big believer of rituals as well. I'm an ethnographer and I work with rituals in terms of voice as well. So talking about morning ritual, I also, so mine is really going right away in the voice exercise. Like, can I tell about this a little bit more in details? Because it's connected what you are saying. Morning rituals, getting back the energy, and an embodied wisdom, like getting back to the body right away. Because as you are saying, women leaders are full of tasks to do, things to achieve. So it's in the morning, like task list, to-do list, and everything. Back to the body. And well, through the voice work I am offering, it's easy, because what we are doing there in the courses, and what I also built in as a part of my morning ritual, is that right away we start to make exercise and kind of vocal apparatus gymnastics in the voice, because this is something really takes a big part of your first impression as a leader, as a person, as a teacher, online, in person, everywhere. Your voice has an impact, and we are kind of blind walking in this, because the reaction or the feedback I get from my women is that, yeah, I didn't even think of my voice as a tool for growth or as a tool for empowering others. So we are using it without really warming it up or educate it. So could it be a silly idea to go to the gym to a high intensity workout without warm up? Yes. So it's very wise to do the warm up. And so giving a voice, it's also a sequence of movements that you are doing with your muscles. So what I do as a part of my morning ritual is that when I take my icy bath or cold shower, I do that immediately. I have a secret set of exercises that we were doing together, all this crazy jaw opening and lip dancing sessions. I'm doing it under the shower, because the reason I do it under the shower, because I don't have a lot of time in the morning because of my kids. So it's sustainable. It can be built in your other activities that you are doing. So cold shower, you do that. And then some of the, oh, wow, this is so good. Oh my God, you love me. This is a spiritual thing, but also it's a vocal warm up. Imagining a stovepipe in the inner axis of your body, and so you give voices to each part of this stovepipe, like so in this sense you start to live in this stovepipe. So you start to be at home in your body. And not to forget it, I created this mantra: this day is so good. Oh my God, you love me. Ooh. And so it's funny. It gives smile to my women and to myself as well. So I also do that. And the other place I can do all kinds of tongue gymnastic, it's the car. So I drive a lot. And it's also, you don't lose time with it. While you are driving, you do all this kind of crazy stuff. We can experiment some of it. And I also teach, this is secret, women, this is secret. I also teach that when you go to the bathroom, it's also like a free time. So what you do is, like, you go to make your lipstick, a little bit of fixing it. And while you are doing that, you do that. I have an exercise called the teeth, defense of your teeth. So you start to speak like that to educate your lips to move. And the reason I'm doing it, because many times the sound that comes out through my lips can create or won't create if you don't let them out. So what you have to do, my invitation is to really make your vocal apparatus dancing. Also, before you present or before you speak. It's not just for voice and singing at Carnegie Hall thing. No, you create things with your voice. So when I say, let's say queen, I say queen, you see a queen, you feel the throne, you feel the couronne on your head. So you want to really create, at the moment you let those words out from your lips, you want to create the meaning. So you almost can, see and touch and feel, let's say, the queen as I'm saying the word. So it's really important that be conscious about the creative power of your words and of your sound. And of course, I'm a musician, so I know that when we talk about voice, and this is the other question I got the most, maybe I I can question myself here. So is your course it's for singing or it's for speaking? And I always say, well, this is, I didn't niche down that, because I say both, and I am emphasizing the one rootedness of speaking and singing. So it has one root. You have only one sound. Of course, you can do other things technically when you sing and other things when you speak, but it has one root. So where I work the most with my clients and students is that being and dancing on that sweet spots between singing and speaking. Am I singing now or am I speaking? So what I do here, I am demonstrating it, as you can hear, is that playing with the building elements of the voice or the characteristics of the voice, like the volume, the tempo, the repetition or the break, use of the silence or the tone. You can be velvety or you can be steely. You can be really like an iron, like cold, because you want power in your voice, right? Or sometimes you can be vulnerable and you can be velvety, like soft, like melting butter, you know. And so the more you're conscious with this, you become like a painter. Oh, I want to paint this picture. Let's have some more red here. So the more you can be conscious about it, the more you are a leader. You are, you know, the leader of what you are creating with your voice. So it's like an image. It's like, you know, a full body impression when you say, I'm demonstrating it when you use your velvety tone or your steely tone, or when you talk like that, or when you talk like that. Well, and Helena, you're in Spain, so you can hear every day this melodiousness, speaking voice of the people. So I think I also create a little poem like high and low, fast and slow, soft and loud, break and sound, steely or velvety, melody or monotony. So this is a little poem. We can also drop it in under the video, that you can remind yourself that in terms of how to use your voice, you have all these characteristics and you can play with those.
Awesome. Thank you for this teaching, for this uncovering some of the most essential things that, you know, will be helpful for everybody that is listening. I told you she was amazing in the beginning, so now you see. I believe that that we are not enough aware of the power of our voice, that we are not enough aware of the impact that we can have with our voice. And we are here as women leaders, mainly in the context of self-leadership. That means that we believe that we can take action, that we can improve, that we can learn, that we can grow, and take the responsibility for having more impact. You know that in average, we know 300 people, average. And if you have impact on other people, then there's a ripple effect of 3. That means that how we show up and how we use our impact, how we use our leadership, how we service people has an impact on 9,000 people.
Wow.
Okay, can you imagine? Be aware of that. Be aware of the power that we have. Be aware of how we can change organizations, how we can change communities, how we can change the world, hopefully, because the way it looks like now is not okay. It's time for us to use our voice to have impact. It's absolutely time, because if we can add the feminine power to the masculine power that is isolated now and too much focused, then we can create another world. We can create a different humanity. And I am so, you know, committed to do that. Even if it is one woman at the time, because one woman has an impact on 9,000, and that is encouraging, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's so beautiful what you are saying, because I feel on my skin all these wars, that everything that is happening now in the world, and I'm so happy you are happy. I mean, I'm so moved and so aligned with what you are saying, that it matters. Your voice matters. Your way of showing up matters in so many ways. And yes, talking about masculine and feminine energy and what's going right now in the world, yeah, it's very important to be who you are authentically, because it has a personal, individual level. So I always imagine that, oh my God, if all these people would have been healed from all this frustration and emotion and sexual energy suppression and so on and so on, it would be a different world. And here, like the work you are doing, Helena, and what the work I am doing, it's really like being responsible of everything you are doing and staying in this positive genius zone you have, because it's your birthright that you are a wonderful human being, like all of us in the world. I believe this. But it's, of course, it's wounded and compromised very early on. So with the voice and with this very embodied practice I teach, there is a possibility to really, let's say, work through our own shit and our own things. Sorry to say this word, but sometimes it's really like it's
It
a deep,
is.
yeah, sometimes it's a deep dark place that you have to be really willing to face. And in the moment you are doing, there are treasures in it. And I think it's only possible in a community. And I'm also convinced about that. Choose a good mentor with whom you are aligned with and resonate with. I always choose mentors, and basically women. I like the body sensations I have while she's talking. So you can check out with your body now as we are talking that what is the body sensation it gives to you. Because when we speak and hear as well, it's not about transferring knowledge and information. It's being connected on a physical body level. And coming back to the voice, and I like very, very much what you are saying about the responsibility of changing humanity and having this big mission. And it's not small. I have a big mission to give back the voice of as many people, mostly women, as possible. And so this is very important, this body part in that. So what does it mean? Being present, being you. How do you know that you are present? From your body. So my favorite quote I use in my courses is from Helena Demuynck. It's a French philosopher, writer. And she said, women will reconquer their bodies that was confiscated from them. The body that was the very place of conflict and inhibitions. In the moment women reconquer their bodies, they reconquer their truth, their own breath, their own speech. And then she add, write yourself. She's a writer. So I am adding to that, speak yourself, sing yourself. So be in the body when you speak. It's not just from head to head, because you can be lost in the meaning of the words. And you know that from communication studies that it doesn't really matter. Like it's 20% of the outcome of it's based on the outcome, based on the meaning of the word. Sorry. So the result, what you have in a communication action, it's more in the body, in the voice, in the body language. So don't be lost in the meaning of the word. It's more the voice, more the body, and more the intention of the connection, even through camera, even through the online space. Love can come true. And I know you love that word love, Helena, and I also love that word love. And it has a concrete meaning in my case. Like we also learn the algorithms of love. How do we support each other? Like we are sending hearts, which I have been doing while we were talking all the time. Like I think this is a little silly thing, but it works. As many of my clients says, it's silly things, but it works. It does. Or like sending love through the fingers to someone, to a classmate who is working with me.
Absolutely, or sending support, we do a lot of these things in our groups. Absolutely,
and this is something very important, because I think change requires safety and love. When you are loved and safe, and in yourself and with others, that's when you can step in the unknown new territory of change. So I think it's very, very important to do that in a very personal level. And in the first level, be good in your body, be good in your voice, be good with yourself, check in with yourself. Then you can lead yourself, and then you can be a role model and lead others, and then you can impact other people, as Helena said, 309,000 and maybe more people to change the world. And I think it's very important when you lead others to be you, authentically you. And Helena, maybe you don't know that, but one of your beautiful classmates from the last round, Tanya Hawks, I just made a testimonial interview with her. She's from Scotland. She's wonderful. And she said, Bea, you eat, drink, and breathe what you teach. You drink and breathe what you teach. And she's just, she's a poet. So she, Bea, you eat, drink, and breathe what you teach. And I said, what? Yeah. And she said, yeah, exactly. You are so much.
That's authenticity.
Yeah. You are what you are, and we cannot not get it because, and I think this is the way, like being a role model, it requires to really a lot of check-in with yourself and a lot of cleaning with yourself. As we said, clean your own shit first, and then you can teach others. And it's
absolutely
we don't look like perfect. We are not perfect. We don't want to look like perfect.
We're not.
We have
and one of the important lessons I learned during one of our momentum course, the yearly program mentorship that we take with Marisa Murgatroyd, that was really an eye-opener in terms of the symbolics. And I'm trying to make this short. So we were almost 1,000 people online. So there were different Zoom rooms because there were so many people. And she was in the box that we got before those 3 days. We got these. Do you recognize these, Bea? And so people were invited to make a statement, to make a strong statement. And so they made a statement, 1 minute or something, and then we were invited to show a flag. And this was agree, this was moi, and this was no, not resonating, And what I see that a lot of women do is that with their statements, they don't really dare to stand up for what is their vision, for what is their opinion. Always respectful, but they don't. And so what they get is a lot of these not impacting me. So basically what I invite you to do also with your voice, but with how you show up, that is, if you make a statement, make it yours. Make it yours. Don't be afraid not to irritate or disrupt other people, as long as you do it respectful. But then you will have people who are resonating with you and who will support you and who will come. And you have people who say, no, I don't agree. And that's fine. Nobody has only fans, but at least you will be authentic and you will sometimes be vulnerable and you will have your tribe, your community. And this is what we're doing. And I have to be honest, Bea, it took me some time to do that because I did not want to, I did not want to disrupt people, or I did not want to make them uncomfortable. You want to please people. This is also one of the epigenetical things that we have as women. By the way, I have a community. It's called Her Space. So if you go to helenademuynck.com and you take the tab Her Space, this is my community for smart, conscious, and high-achieving women. I do a lot of blogging and articles there that explains why we show up the way that we show up, how it is culturally, economically, epigenetically constructed. And this is also so important why I want to bring all these role models to the world, because although it is true that there are a lot of role models, and that's why I'm doing this, there's only 2 generations of women that stepped into a world as equals of men. Only 2. How long do we have the right to vote? For how many years do we have the right to open a bank account? Really? For how many years do we have the right to divorce? How many years do we have the access to university. Think, only 2 generations.
Yeah.
So epigenetically, I think humanity goes back, Homo sapiens, 2,100 generations,
Yeah.
más o menos, So there's only 2 generations where we can look for how are we supposed to play this game.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can I add
It gives
something?
me goosebumps
Me
only
too.
telling this.
Me too. And let
So we
me.
are incredibly strong to take this path, and we
Yeah.
have to support each other in that.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
this is Helena. I didn't even know that you will talk about this, but I have this prayer. I have a song called "Calling You," and I calling all my ancestors, but not just my family line. It's also a respect for all the women who did the hunger strike, the voting rights, the pills, everything. Everything that we can do what we can do now. I would have been a witch. I would have been burned even 200 years ago. Like I could not do the work I am doing now because I'm too much. I'm bombastic. I'm raw. I'm strong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not what I could have done. Even 100 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So I owe these women. Like I am so thankful for all these women who were before us. And our job, as you say, really be strong in our mission and vision, not just half. Oh my God, all these women gave their lives. All the so-called witches that was burned before me, like, they worked for me, and I cannot just be half-heartedly here and maybe teach a little bit of singing here and there. No, 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 no. It's your full heart, for your full body. You sing the verse and you say those words from your vagina, and you step up and you really are there, because that's the way we can show up in the world. This is basically the only way. And of course, we are not always energetic and open, but that's why we also show our vulnerability and humanity with the same courage. So when I say step up strongly and speak up, it doesn't mean that you are perfect and strong. No, but you are true to
You can be
yourself.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
And amazing. And especially in the Western world, because there's a lot of other countries where this is not possible. This is like the first decennia that we can feel safe as women. And then I'm a little bit optimistic, because a lot of women do not feel safe because, like you say, they are sexually or physically or emotionally abused. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of trauma. But at least, like you say, a couple of 100 years ago, women that took freedom, women that were into their sexuality, they were burned.
Yeah.
They were burned.
Oh my God.
So it was not safe for a woman to speak up. And if you look at countries in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, it is still not safe for women, or in Iran, Iraq, my heart breaks something. It is not safe for women to show themselves, to speak up. We can do this. We can do it. And that's why I say it is our responsibility. That might sound a little bit hard, but it is our responsibility to, to show up and to take a pose in the world, and to not to agree with everything that is going on, and to offer alternatives, and to show alternatives, to be the model, to be the role model, also for our children. Women, be aware of how you raise your children, not only your daughters. You will make your daughters strong women, but also make your sons, make your boys accepting and open. And if you see feminine qualities there, don't push them down. Let's and I think that's why I say we have a big responsibility.
Oh my
as
God.
leaders, as women leaders, your teams.
Yeah. And also sorry to cut your sentence. It's, thank you for giving a larger context to this, because yes, I am aware that many women, many little girls and many little boys are not safe and not in the place they should be. So it's also heartbreaking for me. And of course, this is a European context. We are giving a European context of today, 2023. But I'm also aware that it's not the situation everywhere. Women cannot speak up. And I think we have a lot to do, and of course it requires sometimes a softer communication, so we cannot, you know, just like that. We have to be like that, and sensing what is there in the given culture. And this is also again the voice. If you're conscious how to use your voice, sometimes you don't want to shout, sometimes you want to say and things softly and then listen to the other. And many times I hear that more the women give voice to themselves, more they can listen. So it's another quality of the listening.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because many times they feel that their suppressed words needs to be so much let out that they forget what the other is saying. So I think in this area or in this topic, what you have just painted here, the larger context of women not being freed yet, or people in general not being themselves yet and cannot have the possibility to speak up. We have a lot to do, but we have to do also like attuned with the other person. So it's again a very important topic, and I'm truly, as a mother of two daughters, I'm truly feeling it into my daily day life. My elder daughter just turned 11 yesterday, and my younger daughter is 7. So I also somehow paved the path for them. And I hope that they will be women leaders in sense of they lead themselves first, and then they can lead others. And the most ritual and voice tip that I teach for them is to really like a dinner ritual is like we have this trinity. We say a brag, let's say, a self, acknowledgement, a gratitude, and a desire. And we say that every evening. So we say it out loud so that they can feel as, validated, like, yeah, I acknowledge myself that I was good at school and at math, and I'm grateful to you, Mom, that you brought me to the horse place today. So it's so nice that at that young age they learn all these beautiful tools, and then they say their desires, which is also a validation. Yes, you desire a phone, of course. You are 11, not yet, but you desire it. It's okay. It's valid. So it's yeah, a lot of, and as you were speaking about the larger context, I know that I'm very, let's say, moved and saddened with the things that is going on today. And of course, I'm always offering, like when the war in Ukraine got to start, I offered classes for the Ukrainian people to sing with me, because it's, that's what we can do. Song, that, yeah, and voice and
for the soul.
Yeah. And so what they said to me as feedback is that, by the way, I was in Ukraine last month also to sing and teach workshops there. They can get in touch with their own emotions, which is in those times can be suppressed so easily because you have a day-to-day task
survival mode.
Yeah, to survive. Yeah, at the moment. Yeah. And so it was very moving that some of them, there were men also, all these classes, that they could get in touch with their anger, which is so valid. And the most harmless way you can be in touch with your anger is through voice work. So you can transform your anger into one sound, and it's so healthy because you don't hurt anyone with that. And if we could just do that in those areas now, like, okay, people, just get in touch with your anger, but don't kill other people, because you don't, it's not, well, it goes far, but yeah. So get in touch with our own emotions and being clear and cleaned in our own system on a personal level, and then get a building or get an edifico, like a beautiful structure, a container in with which you can, bring other people to this healthy place, healthy, authentic place. It's
beautiful.
Yeah.
Bea, we could talk forever.
Yeah.
But I have to thank you. I'm very grateful for all the beautiful stories and demonstrations and teachings and lessons you brought. This is such a rich episode. I am so, so happy that we can bring this to our audience. I really want to thank you for that. And I would like to keep it to that. Probably we'll do another one
Yeah.
in another format or in another tempo. But I would like to extend two invitations for the audience. I
Mm.
will start with mine. So I am creating a community, as I already mentioned, for smart, conscious, and high achieving women. And you are very welcome to join it. So everybody who considers themselves as smart, conscious, and high achieving is welcome to register while it is still free. So do it now because for the moment it is still free. And you will find a community of heartfelt women, like-minded women. We have twice per month Power Circle where we talk about how women can rise. There's a lot of other information. There's access to master classes to guided creating visualizations. And there's also reductions on the coaching programs that I offer. So there's no reason why not to go there. So if you visit helenademuynck.com and you take the Her Space tab, you find all the information and the possibility to register. And then I would like to give the floor back to Bea to tell a little bit more about her amazing program. I can tell a lot about it because I was on it and I can only recommend it, but she will do a lot better. So, Bea, please introduce your
Yeah.
program.
Thank you, women. I'm calling you. So I'm teaching again my Unleashing Your Authentic Feminine Voice for Power and Impact course from February 2024. And this is a 6-week long program with 7 live coaching sessions. There is not pre-recording material, but you have a lot of handouts and tutorial videos that I am sending after each class. And this is for now one to few formats. So it's up to 30 women. It's usually 15, 20. So if you feel like you want to speak more, you want to be in your authentic voice place and lead others, join the program. It's beautiful, and it's also a sisterhood place. So I believe in women supporting women in a very deep level, and it's happening all the time. Yeah. And we also, as you could feel, you could have felt during this conversation, I am a doer. So we are doing a lot of stuff. Like it's an action after action after action with your voice. Yes, we also sing, but we do a lot of energetic work, visualization practice, and a lot of theory where you connect things with other things that maybe you didn't connect so far, like how much your voice matters as you show up, how much your tone matters when you want to create trust with your teaching or with your leading thoughts. It matters. So we train and educate our voice and our soul, because finding our own voice in a physical level is deeply intertwined with your own voice in a symbolic sense. So your inner truth. And we work with both. So again, unleashing your authentic feminine voice for power and impact from the 20th of February. And I would like to add also one thing, that I do work on one-on-one, because I got a lot of requests, but it's a more it's a high ticket program because it's truly deeply personalized process. But I do have a package for one-on-one VIP, as I say, because it's deeply personalized and it's a deep personal support, and it's a longer program. It's 8 months, but we can also drop the link for that program as well. And the women who enrolled to that program, these are really the people who lead others. So if you feel like you are a leader and you want to spread this message, and you want to spread your mission, and you need another embodied tool, this is for you. If you want that your voice carry the position, carry the weight of your position, it is something for you.
Absolutely. And I can only say that it is a great program. I don't know the VIP program, but I know the group program. It is an amazing program. And both programs, also the VIP programs, I'm pretty sure that what a lot of women struggle with is what we call visibility. But
Yeah.
it's also, I don't know if there's a name for that, auditivity. It is not only
I
not
use that
feeling
word.
seen, it is
Yeah.
also not feeling heard. And Bea's solutions, Bea's service is amazing. Bea, can the people find the information on your general website? Is the information there?
These are just landing pages, but we can drop here under the video because I'm
Yeah.
work in progress. And thank you for saying the word audibility because I created that, and we are not native English speakers, so we are free
Yeah,
to play
we
with
can
that.
create whatever we want.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, indeed, it's a word now. It's official audibility, and if you want to grow through your audibility, please join us, me, Helena, with the links below.
All right. So thank you so much for being here with us. I'm pretty sure that this was workful and resonating to you. So I would say go and spread the word. If you know people that might be served with what Bea or I am offering, then just send them this link, show them this video. You can do that. You can share, you can support us. And by supporting us, you are supporting other women. So we both hope to see you in person in some way. And if there's anything that we can help you with, just reach out. We are only an email or a message away, and you are so welcome. So bye for now. Take care and enjoy the rest of the week. And thank you so much, Bea. It was
Thank you
lovely
so
to have you here.
much.